What's up, you guys? Mike Nolan here, and I need to inform you. No. Okay. What's up, you guys? Mike Nolan here. I'm probably going to be leaving YouTube. Because of the 13th. Just so you know. No, not that. We need to find the editor, the text editor. There's a text editor. Featherpad. Okay. I'm going to be available on this platform. I'll be available on my own PeerTube instance. Where this Online Safety Act stuff can't touch me. Or at least I can't force IDs on me. This is hosted in my home lab. In this same exact room that I'm in right now. Let's go here. Okay, is that... Nope. Let's go to PeerTube. Okay, there we go. These are all my videos. Right here. On PeerTube. They were on YouTube. They still are on YouTube. As long as YouTube don't take them down. But I just imported them into my PeerTube just in case. Okay, they're unlisted. Unlisted. This guy's waiting for transcoding. So I kind of have I have a backup. Just in case YouTube takes me down. Here's something I also want you to know about. I've been preserving YouTube videos because I really hate their censorship. It's against their TOS, but I don't care. But here it is. But here's the thing. I can't bulk download it anymore, at least not as fast as I could. I had to put limits on this. This is an internal site, and I'd add a YouTube video here and download it. You know. And then it eventually gets pushed into this archive. What this website does is this website talks to... Okay, let's open... Okay, where is that terminal that I just had? It's a drop down. I don't want a drop down terminal. I just want a terminal. I'm gonna go into this folder. I'm gonna SSH into the server. Actually, I should SSH into my gateway first and select we. It's gonna take a little bit. It's actually we. I want to make sure it's pingable though. Yes, it is. I do have a Jellyfin instance as well, but I don't want to show it here. I use the R stack as well, but with a twist. Actually do it through this Wii. Want me to prove that it's a Wii? Well, there you go. I got the CPU info of this machine. I have pictures of that Wii though, too, on my somewhere, but I don't want to grab them right now. I get this video up, but if I CD into YouTube videos, I want to actually not do that. I want to list. There's just so much in here, so safety. That should list videos about the Online Safety Act that I've been watching. These are archived videos that are to be put on this archive. So this folder, okay. So actually, nope, I do not want to list that. This is where actually all the movies are stored until I have the script here. That starts the Area 2. I don't want to actually show what's in there. But this is my Wii, and this is where I do all the stuff that involves downloading. Let's see how much space is free. I have 156 gigabytes free on this terabyte. It's a SanDisk stream. I should probably do the firmware update on it. But it's a temporary drive. It's a... Because I do not... Whenever... Like, don't run Jellyfin on the Wii because the Wii's too slow. You know, it's kind of slow. Like, I've actually been getting a little bit better speeds. Around 5 megabytes per second. On the Wii. On its good days. On its bad days, it's in the kilobytes. Let me show you my speed test. And this is on Wi-Fi. My laptop's on Wi-Fi. Okay. I'm getting around 300 megs per second. Megabits, though. So the Wii's getting around 25, 40 megabits around there on a good day. This is our Wi-Fi. I can show you my Ethernet speeds. 125. Yes, so we're going to click advanced. Well, I'm actually gonna do this. I have to. Okay, so now we're in my server. I'm on my home lab, and these are my VMs for my big computer. My computer right here. It's OBS. Can OBS see it? No, it's right there. Right here. This is ASRock PVE. Power Edge. The Power Edge is in the rack over in the closet. Sorry for the mess, but this is my ASRock machine, which is running Jellyfin. He's running PureTube. And a couple other services. I put them together myself. Well, yeah, these are cool glasses. They got a USB cable. And you can plug them in, and they got little screens in them. They're called, I forgot what they're called. I guess I could search them up for you. Oh yeah. And if it's kind of hard to see, that's my big computer. That's one of my other computers. Okay. Okay. It's right there. My desktop. Because I have a black desktop. He's home. He's an Asus computer that he has my 20 terabyte drive in it. He's got the VPN so I can connect in. Actually, he's on Tessa's Online. This used to be my Jellyfin. Until I get this buddy. He's in media right now. The Meet 137 VM. This Kubuntu is where I'm actually going to do the speed test. But I need to actually resize that back. Okay, here we go. Let's go do our speed test. I'm not going to block the IP out. You could get it anyway if you go to my domain, if you ping it. But that's a risk I'm taking. I'm not going to censor up my virtual IPs, my internal IPs either. I don't know. Okay, this is my speed. According to speedtest.net on Ethernet. It's around what we pay for. A gigabit. It's around that. Okay. And yes, I do know the difference between gigabit and gigabyte. The difference is 8. A gigabyte is 8 times bigger. Because a bit is the smallest unit of data that, when you hear about zeros and ones, that's a bit. 0 is a bit, 1's the other value of a bit. It can be 2 possible values. A byte has 8 bits in it, which means we can go from 0 to 256, or 255 I should say, because we start at 0. You notice that it's exponential, because 4 bits will give you 16 possible values, so 0 through 15 for a nibble. Okay, this is my web server. I don't know if I should just shut them off just to prove this is my web server for this website here. Okay, I'm gonna shut this thing. I'm gonna just pause him. I'm just gonna click pause here, and I'm gonna try loading this page. Look at how it's spinny, 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 spinny. Still loading. Alright, well, maybe you can't see that, but you see my website keeps spinny, spinny, spinny. And if I go to a subdomain like TYTD archive, it's gonna spinny, spinny, spinny. If I go to google.com, brave.com, it works. It's spinny, spinny, spinny. I click resume, and the page loads. That is because this machine is my website. Yeah. Jellyfins, essentially I just have a bunch of Nginx rules to point to different services. I use plain old Nginx, not the proxy manager. I'm not gonna. Anyway, I'm just talking about my network. Online Safety Act. That's what I was wanting to talk about, but I have to pause you because I'm going to pull up the video that I was wanting to at least give you the link for, that I sent to Peggy Bennett. I really don't know what else to do. I want to fight this Online Safety Act, but I don't know what to do other than send it to people. Like, I don't know. I talk about it, I get kind of pissed about it. But there are much better people that can explain it than I can. I just don't trust them to enforce it good. After all this fraud in the world these days, with the Biden administration and all that jazz, I don't trust, because they're still big tech. You know, even if Trump's in there, they're still big tech. And yes, he's against this too, at least to some degree. I don't know, but there's a Jody, I can't remember his last name, but he's against this Online Safety Act. Jody. Okay, Jody. Okay. I think I want this video. See, I just add it here. And why don't I want these videos? I download these stuff too, even though they're not political. Like, I want to, I'm going to show you that I do this. This is like, okay. Okay, just, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of false prophets out there. Even if there are videos, I still want to preserve them. There might be use in them. One of them actually might be true, and it might just be my own thoughts. Okay. I want to download the... Because too, if I... Okay. Okay. So, I came here for Jody. Okay. Jody. Where is that Jody? I can't remember his name. Windows. There. Online Safety Act. Okay, where is that video you just did? It's this guy. It's not for kids, and it never has been. I watched that after us. That does skeptical about it. So he wasn't what caused me to be skeptical. Okay. Okay, I gotta find... I want to lower my chair. Okay. Where is the way you lower this chair? I don't know. I don't know how you lower the chair. Maybe my mom will be able to help that. Okay, this is a guy that I like. He's got a clippy. I got a clippy too. But I wanted to share that. If you read this, I got saved. I got saved in 2023. A lot of this is censorship, though. If you can see in here, these are a bunch of remove lists. I don't do these anymore. I might use thumbnails to detect if a video's been removed through these bots. Some of this, like I only read with the bot. I don't do any writing. So essentially, you see a lot of Demi in here. I like her, even though I hope for her to get saved. Okay, there's a lot of Demi in here. There's a lot of probably crap in here. I kind of like to watch some crap too. But if you just keep, you'll see just a bunch of. You might see a bunch of videos that like there's YouTube poop. They're funny. Not always, but okay. This chair is actually giving me a little bit of annoying. My body is like... My butt's not used to it. Okay. I'm used to my bed. I usually sit on my bed. The pig squeal got removed? Really? I thought that was kind of funny, but you say the UEFI BIOS. This information. This one's Hillary Clinton, I'm sure. Yeah. This got removed somewhere. Keep scrolling and scrolling and see. I kind of like the ones like this. Is this the one I'm thinking of? Yeah. This is Steven Crowder video that they removed. YouTube took down. Censored it. I have it. Which is cool. You see this happening with the Holy Spirit warning you. La-di-da-di-da. Okay, so like there's just a bunch. There are some of these videos. Like, yeah, there are some Christian ones in here too. What is the gospel? I wonder if this is okay, I need to find... This is just a bunch of videos as of 2024 that were removed. Or... Honestly, it was whenever my program would encounter an error. One of the exceptions in YouTube Explode. It would say, it's removed. I had a script that did it. Gotcha. Okay. So, if you can see, this is a big old list. This is a big list of videos that have been removed as of October 31st, 2024. And okay, these are all these videos are. Let me see if this one chooses. Chris would not stand Israel. I don't know. I want one of those. I want something that. I want something like funny. That one's removed. Okay. This is a Trailblazer video. Okay, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay, where's the archive? Trail, if you see this. Because this could actually... I think I've had flukes. It's not available anymore. This one's not available anymore. Okay, this one's removed for hate speech. This one's removed for just no reason. No reason at all. According to YouTube. I'm just giving you a reason, partially why I justify this. Maybe I don't have to, but maybe I don't need a reason. This one is just funny. I just like it. She's reading a book called The Book of Buffalo. There's a lot of crap in here, like I said, too. If you can see right there. These to a lot of people, it'd be crap. This one is true, I'm gonna say. Definitely CPS is corrupt. They took me. They took me. They lied that I watched porn. Oh, by the way, that was the kid on the van. He was watching. He'd take my phone and watch porn on it. And they took me away for it. And then my first group home, well, on this with Susan Piper, it was around February 13th of 2017. I can't forget some of the dates, but I think that's one of the dates. I got taken away. And my grandma couldn't talk at all in the courtroom. I feel like she should have been able to speak up. She should have been able to speak up. It's just sick. All that stuff. It, like, I've taken. At least the first group home was good. You know, they were pretty great. They were called Second Chances. I really liked the people there. They actually let me be on a computer for 2 hours a night. While that's not as much as I was used to, at least I was able to use a computer at all. And I had an MP3 player that I could listen to my music on. Sure, you'd have to verify the music, but I did get around that. I think he knows the last time I talked to him. I apologize for that. I guess it's irrelevant now. You know, I like edgy music. I still do. That group home was great. They trusted me to go around the block alone, just walk around in that little town, Grenada. They let me do it. And my, what's it called? my social worker and guardian ad litem and those people were just like, they completely said that somebody had to be with me at all times. Like they lied that I was trusted enough to go on walks. I thank God that I wasn't raped. I thank God. It was before I was saved. That was in 2017 to 2018. The last 2 years of my childhood, for the last couple of years, from February 23rd, from 2017 to November 30th of 2018, I was in 4 group homes because it's DPS. Because it's CPS. I thought it was just because I was truant and I acted up at school. But actually, my mom and grandma told me that my mom just wanted to get services to help me out. And then CPS is saying that mom's neglecting me for not getting services. When they would cancel me every other month, DHS would just cancel my insurance, and they wanted to know because they wanted to know where my dad worked. They were asking my family, or my mom and grandma, where does his dad work? Or where does he live? I can't remember. Either way, but my mom didn't know where that was. They knew, but she didn't. And it was... Oh, it was frustrating. I remember her hearing them talk about that my insurance was canceled again and again and again. It wasn't their fault. They just didn't know where he lived or went to work. I can't remember which. Which, by the way, I don't think I need the meds anyway. I don't think I was on meds in 2020 when I had a full streak of a year of not breaking anything. I struggle with depression, but I don't even know if the meds would help, because I don't know. I think I'm gonna do more holistic things. I don't trust after hearing about the vaccine and stuff, I don't trust it. I didn't get vaccinated. I did as a child for other things, but not this 2020 COVID. Yeah, back to the group homes. Honestly, I was in a group home before that. Second Chances in 2015. That's actually where I found about Demi Lovato on the radio. It was in 2015 from March something, I can't remember, to around October, November something. I got out around Halloween, so it was October something. I had just gotten out. Like that was like agony too, because first of all, I couldn't be on electronics because I broke one of my alarm clocks. I broke my alarm clock, so I wasn't able to be on the electronics. It was annoying. Well, they didn't have computers either, but they didn't have them at the school. But that was basically useless if there's anything I wanted to do online. Because you can only play the games. I think they blocked it eventually. Reno 180 was fun. That was like considered work. I kind of like their spelling zone. I made a clone of it because I liked it. I made the clone in VB.net. This was around 2015, 2016, because I got discharged from that group home, and I still went to that school until, and I was slacking. I had these hacks. I think I know now that it was probably just, I don't know. All I know is the feelings where I have icky feeling, that was just because I was hungry. Because that it fixes, well, nowadays that fixes it, what I eat. But I was in that group home for like 7 months. Then, after second chances, it was like in June or something. I don't remember why it was. I go from a really good group home to another group home where they neglect animals and problems. And for me, I used to be on the computer, but now I wasn't. Couldn't really game either. I could do both of that other group home. I eventually had my Xbox there. The first group home, but the second group home, I could not be on the computer at all, unless at school. But I was learning to do Chromebooks and stuff. The second group home was called Ace House. At that group home, we also had to do chores. I'm not used to chores, so yeah, I wasn't raised with chores, so I really hated it. I'm sure there are people that have grown up with it and they still hate it, but being in a family that didn't require you to do them, to like being in a group home that requires it, and two, they neglected the animals. They didn't keep up. If they didn't keep up on the animals, that's why I'm saying neglect. Sure, we gave them food and water, but they didn't. Their hooves weren't trimmed or something like that. I don't remember. I know it was problematic there. Kind of like the kids sometimes, but sometimes we'd go on the road, and that was kind of fun. But that was the worst group home. That was the worst place in my life. When I went to Von Wald, I couldn't even visit my family for like the first, like they couldn't even call for the first week. And then one of the staff were kind of complaining that they didn't call. But my family wasn't allowed to call. And I was like so sad when we found, I started getting upset and they just, click, they stopped the phone. So I couldn't talk. Okay. I can't remember too much about that group home. I eventually broke the TV. So we couldn't even watch TV because until I broke it, at least we were able to watch TV. Like stuff on Netflix. So when I first watched The Host, that was a good movie. Camp Rock 1 and 2. I think it was 1 and 2. There's quite a few movies. Well, it was a bad group home. It was on a farm. I might be okay with the farm if I was the one managing it. Like if it was, chosen at my time, or if I was just grown up into it. But I wasn't. It was neither of those things. And remember, this is after I start liking Demi Lovato. I really liked her, and I still do. I recently downloaded her song Fast in my own programming language on the Wii. Yeah. I created this language, started working on it, I think in 2024, and I work on it every so often. You know, I feel like I'm too strict with myself, too, but I have. Oh, let's stay on the timeline. This is about me. I went to another group home Von Wald. It was better. Like, it wasn't great. It was okay. At least we were able to game. I felt it was better. The school was within that group home. The school was in it. Von Wald was for a couple months. From October something of that month. So I was in Ace House for a few months. They weren't the longest place. Journey was, actually. I was in Journey most of the year. For 11 months, pretty much. It was like January 3rd through November 30th. I know it's November 30th of 2018. So, and it started on January 3rd or something of 2018. I was a Journey when Demi OD'd on July 24th, 2018. I might have actually been. I was in one of those learning how to do have a job. I forgot about it. But I was there that day. One of the times I did it was that day. So at the file system dates for files I did on the day. Yep. I still have that capture card too. Somewhere in here. The capture card that I got when I actually had it shipped to Journey. It's the AverMedia C285. It's a Game Capture HD2. It's pretty cool. Game Capture HD2. The YouTube stuff doesn't work anymore. Okay, it's not that. It's AverMedia. It's standalone. It's just a box. Yeah, it's a box. They let me have that there in the last few days. I wonder if it's on my eBay. It should be on my eBay. Come on. Bring up. Okay, we need to actually. Okay. Pro. Okay. I want to be on the second screen, so we're gonna go eBay. My purchase history. Okay, I got this case coming. Is it tomorrow or yeah? I think it's coming tomorrow. This thing might be coming tomorrow. There's the shake bracket. I haven't installed it yet. That is my these are the things from my air gap I might be planning. USB thing for my power edge. Thermal paste that fixed my desktop. The glasses. There they are. My current phone. I've unlocked the bootloader. I rooted it. That's partially refunded. Okay. Sensor bar. Ran for an Acer desktop that I can't use because I have a broken screen now that I don't have a TV anymore in this room. I struggle with anger. Okay. I got these things. I like them. I got 10 more. PS2. ZigBee. Okay, let's go back. Okay, this is like way back. Okay. Okay. There it is. I got shipped. Okay, view. But this is all the stuff I bought. I bought a server rack. All these stuff to our current address. Okay, that is a screen that I don't use. There's a Redwii N64 cartridge for. There's my surge protector in my rack. Power cord for our AP. There's a lot of stuff. Okay, what is our this is my router. I use PFSense. I have a Ubiquiti Pro U6 Pro. You don't see that because I physically bought it at Micro Center when I got the tower. Oh yeah, and I got these cameras. Oh, these were from Walmart. I got 2 of them. I actually kind of like the quality of the pictures. They're Kodak Pix Pro AZ528. I have 2 of these. If you're wondering what laptop I'm using the Framework Laptop 16. It's awesome, and I thought I'd do free advertising for them. This is it. This is the laptop that I got. If you're wondering how I got this money, it's settlement money from Respirado. It wasn't that much. Yeah, this is what you can do with it. No fault to Framework. But I actually did damage this computer a couple times. Anger. I struggle with anger issues. I've been praying to God lately about this Online Safety Act and this anger issue. But you can get a GPU that is replaceable, like that. But you do need to take apart the computer with screws. There are several screws under the keyboard. Then you take a couple more screws out, and you can take the thing out. By the way, there's the fans. They're part of this module that pulls out the back. I got the lower configuration. I got that. Okay, I think it's storage. I brought my own operating system. I got that. The keyboard, I got US English. That was RGB. You know. Input modules. I got the numpad and the macro pad somewhere else though. On this thing though. I got the orange bezel, power adapter. I got the power adapter, expansion cords. I got a couple of these. Okay. Well, actually, I got the orange one later. But I got the LED matrix, RGB macro pad, and the numpad, I think. Or I don't remember. It was the. Got the numpad module. What am I missing? Yeah, this. That would have made it. But these are my specs. Then I got a couple of the expansion cords. I got a couple of the USB-C. I got 2 of these SD card modules. These SD cards. A couple of these. They're quiet though. I personally think they're not that loud. So I use the... There's warning, this machine doesn't have a headphone jack. But at least they have I think this is actually a better idea. Modules. I like them. And it's easy to repair. They don't glue the screens in like a lot of laptops these days. I love mine. I actually had to replace the whole top part because of anger issues, not because of framework. And it actually closes like it did when I got it. I had to replace the webcam. I had to replace the hinges, the back cover. I chose to replace the back cover. I don't know if I would have had to, but I knew the hinges were broken, and I knew it didn't close right. So I bought the, and it's a pretty easy computer to fix. So, and if that wasn't enough, they have guides. Where is it? They have guides. If I can click on it, okay. Repair guides. No, I don't want the replacement board guide, but it's view all guides. Okay, so I want a framework 16. I have the framework. I had the 13 before, but I got so mad and I broke it all, except for the board. I think the battery was fine, but again, nothing to do with the framework. So let's say I want to install. This is actually the thing I had problems with. Where is the antenna? Which is probably part of the top cover. The thing is there's like these videos too. I hate those antenna cords, but that's with any laptop. But there's apparently a jig for it, a tool that you can use. The routing was something I didn't know, but they have it. They show how to route it, which is awesome. Let's go to Apple, because they are their enemy. I want to build a computer that's like this. Let's say I want to buy. This isn't even an x86 machine. Can you get an x86 machine from them anymore? This is their. I don't know. I'm just gonna assume that you have to get the M4. This is close enough to the 16, so we're gonna get the 15. Like, I'm not actually gonna buy this. These are ARM CPUs though, but remember this is a 16 core framework that I'm using. So let's say I want as much storage. Well, okay, so I can't get. This is the closest I can get with memory. What? Like, there was 6 options when I was here before. What did they do with the other 3 options? What the? I was just here comparing them, and now there's only 3 options that are, I guess they are they cheaper? But there's no, it's less RAM. Okay, where is this? Because it's an Air, MacBook Air. Is there like one of their? But with this, even if it is cheaper, you're getting something that, if something goes wrong, you're gonna have to buy a whole nother one. or just pay a lot more to get it fixed. They use proprietary SSDs, and I'm sure the RAM's soldered. Like, why would they? I'm sure they solder the RAM too, you know. And plus, you're getting into the Apple ecosystem, which they could probably convince you to get an iPhone, iPad. They're gonna probably tempt me more, and yeah, I guess. But I'm saying you can't upgrade the RAM. I'm sure. And the screens are glued. You know, I don't. This is based on what I've heard, but oh, there's the MacBook Pro. Okay, there we go. There's only 4 configurations of that. Let's say I want to get 48 gigs. That's actually less cores. Okay, this one is what we want. This is our equivalent. Close enough equivalent. Ouch. Ouch. That's for the same specs. Well, no, it's not, because this is, I think this is ARM. Is it an M1 or is it? It's it's M4, so it's an ARM based. Okay, MacBook Pro. Okay. M4 Max. That's an M4 Max though. But that's what you'd want for that spec. And if you wanted the same core count, memory, and storage as this computer had when you got it. That's more costly. This is an ARM chip too. So if you're a Windows user or a Linux, well, you might be able to get Linux. Linux. You might be able to get Linux on it. You might be able to actually get Windows on it, but there might be issues. Okay, this is what you can use to get Android or Linux on the Macs. So let's say let's see what we can get on a framework. We can get Linux on it. These are officially supported. These are community supported. So they are like, these are the ones we officially support: Fedora 42, Ubuntu 2504, and Bizite. I don't know. Compatible, community supported. Project Bluefin, Arch Linux, Linux Mint, NixOS. That's for the 13 or 12. 12. Okay. Okay. 13. This is the one I had first. Da-dee-da-dee-da. They have a bunch of distros. Cool. Okay. Framework 16. This is the laptop I'm using. You need to have minimum 6.6 kernel and 6.10. That's what they recommend. Okay. Or later. The distro for Fedora 42, Ubuntu 24.4 plus. I'm sure that's plus being later or later. Ubuntu 22.04, Bizite, Project Bluefin, Arch Linux, XOS, Linux Mint. Okay, this is basically, you can get Windows on it too. don't have to, but you have to buy it yourself or use other means. If you really hate Microsoft like I do, then most fine. I wouldn't want to use Microsoft, but if I had to, there is also Massgrave. Microsoft activation scripts. And there's also KMS Pico. I don't know. You might want to use Massgrave if you don't want to buy them. Or you can just, if you don't care about personalizing it, and you don't mind having a watermark in the bottom right corner, don't buy it legitimately and don't use the activation scripts. This is a thing. Massgrave.dev. Okay. No. Spying FSF. This is okay. You should read this. So, these are just a bunch of things that the FSF specifically hates about it. I may not agree with these people entirely, but I like their idea. This license. It's a code license. The gist is it's viral, so like if somebody uses this in their project, and you use their code, you have to release your code under their license, this license as well. And it also prevents you from being able to TiVoize it. TiVoization. Against TiVoization. It's a practice of designing hardware that incorporates software under the terms of a copyleft license, like the GNU public license, uses hardware restrictions or digital rights management to prevent users from running modified versions of the software on the hardware, i.e. track phones, because you can't unlock the bootloader. And TiVos, and game systems, even though they might not have GPL code on them. I still probably consider them TiVo style devices. This seat is really hurting my bum. Oh, there we go. Okay. Just know that GPL v3. The difference between GPL v2 and v3. Actually, they're not compatible with each other unless GPL v2 or later. You can use that code in a GPL v3 app, but you can't use GPL v2 only in a GPL v3 app, sadly. That's the only problem with it, I think, because GPL v3's thing just seems great, you know. But Linux is licensed under GPL v2 only, I think. I wish they'd at least release it under GPL v2 or later. Wish people would, or have it where it's a dual license system, or can be licensed, or, you know, I've heard that happen. Crosslink is actually GPL v3. It's not ready because I'm actively complying with the license. I don't think I might be, but I don't have in the source files, I don't have the comments, and I'm not ready for this project to be public yet. Like, you can download the code if you really want to, but it's gonna... You might break your... This code might break. Whatever, because I have a Docker image that you... Well, not that one. I prefer you to have this container here. If you got an Intel system that's got Linux on it, just pull this container, onedev.site.tests.net/crosslink/crosslink extras. So you just pull this container and you run, and it's got a crosslink in it. I got a crosslink website, but the downloads aren't right. They're not available. If I click ISO, it doesn't work. I don't have it anymore. So this is kind of how to make projects. This is how the language works. And if you took anything from any of the videos or any of this stuff too, there's always something called, okay, New Testament, John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. For God sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. And he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not. So people who don't believe in him already are condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Yep, you can see that. So, essentially, if you're worrying about hell, John 3:16's got your back. So it sounds like I want to read more of the Bible, but I might get it started. Okay, I think this video's done. I have nothing. I'm still a sinner. Like, I still do things that are wrong, you know. And some things that the world or some of the Christian people say is wrong. You know, like, I'm gonna believe that he died on that cross for us to have eternal life. I just want people to live. Stop worrying about certain things. Get the word out there. Don't condemn people for what they do wrong. Maybe try to get them, maybe convince them that there's another way. Be gentle. Be kind. Love others. And I wish this woke stuff would go away. I wish the woke movement would go away. People have been pulled into it. I want them to stop. I don't want you getting arrested for it, but I want it to be peaceful. I want you to find true love and find God. I might be struggling even with my mental state. I wanna just love God too. You know, I wanna just be able to, you know, Lord Heavenly Father, please help those people who are scared of fighting against the system, the evil system, and just worry all the time, like me. I hope that they have peace, and I hope this video gets out to people, and I hope people know about this video before it gets removed. If it does, I want people to know. Then I'm a paperclip guy. I don't know what to do, but I can try. I can talk to people about this stuff. Like, I'm not that confident about it, but it's better probably to talk about it than for me to keep it silent. I should talk about it, even if people aren't going to believe me. Maybe God will help. Maybe the Holy Spirit will help. You know, this... I hope Demi gets saved, too. We went on a Hollywood... We went on a California trip. We wanted to go save her. But we couldn't. I did it with my settlement money. And that's where I got that wallpaper picture from. I think I'm going to license that picture under CC by SA. I took it, you know, so I can say that the license, determine it. And please, even if you got the world, if you have a spare computer that's the crappiest machine that you have ever used, like a Wii or something, you can do effort with it. You can do things with it. Like if you look at this, I preserved 120,000 videos in a couple of years using my Nintendo Wii, running Linux. So you don't need something that powerful to preserve stuff. Maybe for things where you need a scraper, but if you're gonna just, but like you could run a website on the Wii. It might not be the best, but it theoretically work. Some guy's doing it with a blog or like a bulletin board. He's running it on his Nintendo Wii. There are people with there are Homeland videos. I kind of like them. If you have something x86 related, like an older computer that's 64-bit, I'd suggest Proxmox as your hypervisor. You download it. You download this ISO. Get the torrent as well, but you'd click the download button. And then you would want to get something like, I know they're woke, but you would want to get the server version of it. If you don't want something woke, there's something called Open Mandriva. I had issues with it, so maybe Devuin. There's Devuin if you need it. Devuin, whatever that is. Okay, so you download it. Okay, so you'd want to get the x64 ISO. And I'm sure there's a video somewhere. I might release one on my PeerTube instance eventually. But yeah, you can get a home lab, and then with my ISP GigFire, which that speed test is LTE broadband, that's what it used to be. If you got them, you can get a static IP for $5 a month. When I had Spectrum, they had at least when I had it, there was like where you port forwarding actually did work to the public, the dynamic IP. Search up dynamic DNS if you're in that kind of situation, and then figure out how you port forward on your router. Usually the router sits on when you say IPA, if you're on Linux it's IPA or ifconfig. On Windows it's ipconfig in the terminal, and then you're going to see an IP address like 192.168.something. You'd replace this, but in my case it's 110.137.42. I chose that, but like the last number is going to be your particular device. You're going to change that number to a 1. So in this case, even though let's just say this part of it, usually this is the case. I'm going to go there. See, we're in our router. Okay, I think it's Tessus 50. Oh no, it's admin. Well, I'm typing in the password now. Okay, come on, there we go. What you're gonna want to do is, this is a more advanced router. Your routers are probably gonna be easier, but it's gonna be different unless you've got what I have. This is okay. You're gonna port forward. Just remember, this is one of the more complicated ones. No, TCP. You're gonna type in wherever it says an IP address, and then your IP of your device that you want to forward. So let's say 164, and then we'd set 443. 443. Okay, 443 down here. You'd click save. That would be your HTTPS, and then you'd do it again for port 80. And you'd add it again. You would have to get Let's Encrypt and basically a web server. Get started. You'd get certbot. And then you'd install Nginx and edit its configs, or whatever server you want. Really, it doesn't matter. You could use IIS even. So if you're on Windows, there is IIS. I don't know They don't show IIS, but I'm sure there's a way you could do it. You certbot. Yeah, like, just know there are ways to host your own website. You just... Or Linode or something. I think it's Linode.com. Yep. You register this and you pay them, depending on what's it called. This chair is kind of uncomfortable, but you'd have to pay for it every month. But you'd at least be running the server, like, you know, you'd be running the services. If you could trust like Linode, probably don't want to be downloading stuff on them. Probably want a VPN for that. And a local machine on your home network or something, or a seed box. I don't know, like, in this world today, like, I actually sent a video to Piggy Bennett. I don't remember what it is now. Okay. Well, what was I gonna do? But essentially, there was a video about piracy that I found that was like the companies, like these big companies, just gave us the tools for it. The CNET used to have MP3s on their site, and then the people, like, they gave out the tools so people would do it, and then so they could just say, we got a lot of pirates, let's make this illegal or whatever. I think it's probably on here. I'll have to find it. If I do, I might post it in the description of this video on both platforms. I'm gonna post this on my my first YouTube channel, and on my PeerTube. This is my PeerTube, but it's gonna be on, like, it's also gonna be on one of the other channels on here. I might release it as the Tesla Studios. I'm probably not gonna do that. I want to have because I have okay, what are the channels? Okay, so there are a bunch of channels on this instance. Okay, filters, where is the way, channels, there we go. So I got, oh yeah, I have Teslas 5.0. Believes in the freedom of speech. I gotta add a clippy to this one too, don't I? Yeah. There we go. Now we just manage the channel. Put a clippy there. Where's the clippy? Where did I put it? Downloads? Yeah, I put it in downloads. I got a clippy on there. And I can just upload videos here. This is going to be my main channel from now on. I might have... Those other channels are just... Well, this is actually... You can't actually see this if you're on my PeerTube. Wish you could. But, oh, what is that? Ooh. Okay, so these these from YouTube things are my channels. I thought this through. Okay, which one? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 channels, and then there's Tessa Studios. I might do a clippy on that one too. To be honest. Tessa's 5L is my eBay account thing. And I just thought I kinda like that slug, so or whatever you call this. The username. I like that username, so I just did it. Okay, I should be done now. I'm not gonna probably edit this video other than to censor that address. Okay, bye. Have a good one and God bless.